Hello everybody and welcome back to a Royal Reader. My name is Bambi and today I'm going to be showing you my March TBR. So for the month of March, I have gone slightly insane and have given myself a rather ambitious TBR. That includes all of these books. So I am insane basically, but let's just get into the books that I'm going to try and read this month anyway. The very first book that I have decided that I would like to read for the month of March is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is the collector's edition that I just got in the mail recently. I do have the UK and AUS paperback edition, but I absolutely love V.E. Schwab and I do want to collect all of her books. So I am going to be collecting them in both hardback and paperback. Vicious is, I believe, her first adult novel, and basically we follow Victor Vale and Eli Ever. They were friends back in college, and then for one of their thesis they have to write, I guess, Eli decides that he's going to research about the EOs, which is extraordinary people, who are basically people who have some sort of power, I guess you could say. When we first start the book, we don't really know too much about them, as they are sort of like a phenomenon. Yeah. We follow sort of different timelines, basically. It travels back and forth between the present time as well as 10 years ago when Victor and Eli were friends. Stuff happens and it ends up causing Victor to be in jail. So I'm filming this video a week into March and I have actually already read this. I will tell you, I absolutely loved it. I did not see the plot twist at the end coming. I don't know why. I love V.E. Schwab. I can't wait to read the next book. I'm getting it in 2 days. It was amazing. 5 stars, no, 4 stars. And I will talk more about it in my wrap up, but basically that's one book that I decided to read in the month of March. The next book that I decided to finally read for the month of March is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. As you can see, I've already started reading it, and that is because I am doing a 24-hour reading challenge where I'm going to try and read this book in 24 hours. So I am in the middle of filming that currently on this day, which is Saturday. So I am about 120-ish pages into the book. I started reading it last night. I have a feeling I'm going to finish it. So far, I really enjoy it. Basically, you can't really give too much of this book away. I didn't know too much going into it, apart from the fact that it was a very whimsical, magical, enchanting tale, and so far that has given me exactly everything. We follow 2 different main characters, I believe. I'm still only a little bit through, so I don't exactly know, but basically this Night Circus comes to town and then it leaves the end for like 5 years and then it comes back, and it is unlike any other circus you would normally go and see. And that's really all I want to say about this book, because I was pleasantly surprised when I started to read. So yes, the next book that I decided to pick up kind of on a whim was Little Woman by Louise May Alcott. I started to read this, well, not really read, I found this on audiobook and it was in my library, so I decided to start listening to it. Unfortunately, it only had the first part, so it is separated into 2 parts, and so the audiobook only came up to the first part, so I do have to read the rest of it, but so far I am really enjoying it. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to watch the movie whenever I can. It's no longer showing in theaters, so I guess I have to wait for it to come online. But yes, really enjoying it. So basically, if you didn't know about Little Woman, which I'm very surprised by if you haven't at the moment, Little Woman follows the story of the March sisters, Jo, Amy, Beth, and Meg, and basically just follows their life while their father is away, not fighting the war, but I believe just helping out. Possibly he is a doctor, I'm not entirely too sure, but yeah, it follows them. They are a little bit poor and they make friends with sort of their neighbour, Laurie Lawrence, and yeah, it just basically follows them and their life from so far from what I can tell anyway. I can't wait to get a better edition than this because this is very old. This is my grandmother's edition. It is the Reader's Digest edition, so it is very old. But yes, really enjoying this so far. So that is book 2, 3. So the next books that I have are all from libraries. So I do actually work at a library, so I'm going to end up covering the front of it because it does have the name of the library and like the city that I live in, so I kind of want to keep a little bit of privacy. But as you can see, this book is The Reader, book 1 of book 1 of Sea of Ink and Gold. That was a mouthful. I just saw this sitting on the shelf, and I've been really into wanting to read like piratey, mermaidy books and stuff, so I did pick this up and I read the back of it and it sounds really interesting. So I'll just read you the synopsis on the back because I don't really know too much about it. So it says, "This is a book. You are the reader. Look closer. There's magic here. In Sophia's world, reading is unheard of, but everything changes when she finds the book. It is the only thing that can save her. It is the one thing that can destroy her." So that just sounded really interesting, and I can't wait to pick this up, hopefully if I can. So the next book that I picked up from the library that I work at is one that I heard a lot of people talk about on BookTube when I was binge watching it the previous weekend, and that is Spellsinger by Sebastian de Castell. So this is a fantasy, YA fantasy. Basically, we follow our main character, Kellen, who is sort of like a magician or wanting to be a magician, a spellcaster, and he has to go through a sort of series of trials, I guess, and he fails them, apparently spectacularly, and it ends up following him from there. I don't really know too much about this, but I'm really excited to read it. It sounds like something I would really enjoy, so there's that one. For this year anyway, one of the challenges that I've set myself for my TBRs so that I can actually get through the list of books that I've had on my TBR for literally years, and that is that I have to read at least 1 to 2 classics a month. And so for the second classic that I decided to pick up is Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. I have been obsessed with trying to read this book for literally years. I loved the movie with Ben Barnes. Also, Ben Barnes is being the Darkling in the Grishaverse Netflix adaptation, and I am just but basically if you haven't heard about this, we follow Dorian Gray as he moves to live with, I think, his uncle, and he becomes friends with a painter called Basil, and Lord Henry gets a little bit caught up in the acrostic society and does a couple of bad things here and there from what I know of the movie anyway, and all of his sins end up transferring not onto himself, but his portrait that Basil has created for him. That's pretty much all I know. I don't really know how it's supposed to end, so I'm really excited to read this. I did get this in large print, as you can see, because I don't know if it was because I tried to read classics at a young age, but I find that if I listen to a classic on the audiobook or if I read it in really big print, I understand it better. But that might also just be because I am older than like 13 when I tried to read like Little Woman and Charles Dickens and stuff like that. So yeah. And the next book that I have on my TBR is Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. I have heard bits and pieces about this. Basically, we follow our 2 main characters who are trying to sort of promote themselves in the guard system that they are in, I believe. And in order to do that, they decide that they are going to follow this mysterious group of kids or people who are doing sort of like weird, suspicious stuff, and they end up getting caught in something. I don't really know too much about it, but I have heard that people really enjoyed this, so I'm excited to check this out. I have tried to read Evelyn Skye's previous book, which I believe was The Crown's Game. I didn't really enjoy it, but also at that time I was not into reading, so I might pick it back up again and see how I feel about it. So it's not done yet. I have decided that I'm going to be participating in the Elderlingalong readathon series. This is going to be my very first read along that I'm doing, and basically we have 2 months to read The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I don't have a copy with me because I am borrowing it from the library, although if it does not become available soon I will just go and buy it because it's a very thick book and I need to read it. I have been wanting to read Robin Hobb books for quite some time, and I really think I'll enjoy it because this will be my first adult fantasy, I think. Yeah, I am super excited to participate in my first read along, and I love all of the hosts who are hosting the read along, and I just think it'll be a really fun experience. So yeah, I'm really glad that we have 2 months to read that book though, because holy snap, it is thick. Now, another honorable mention that I will just say is if I get a chance to finish all of these books, I will be picking up Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. I do have it, as you can see, my lovely hardback copy that my sister got for me while I was at work. I don't know if I'll get a chance to read it. I am going to try and make sure that I finish all the books that I had on my TBR first, which, if I'm going in chronological order, Night Circus, then Vicious, then Little Woman, and then it was Dorian Gray, Circle of Shadows, and then Crescent City, and then the other 2 books from the library. So I'm hoping I can finish those. It's only the first, well, we're only just finishing the first week of March. I think I should be able to finish it, because most of my books are quite thin. I think the biggest one is in fact Circle of Shadows, sitting at, you know, 400 and something pages, 450. Yeah, 450 pages. Alright everybody, this was my March TBR. Let me know what books you guys are going to be reading for the month of March. I think I've sort of shot myself in the foot a little bit by giving myself such an ambitious TBR, considering as it's like my very first month back into reading. So we shall see how that pans out. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, but we shall see. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and also check out my social medias, Twitter and Instagram, links in the description box. I would love for us to be bookish friends, so please go ahead and follow me on there. If you have any suggestions for videos, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to chat to you guys and see what you guys want to see from me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later on.